Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dario, today's host of this very interesting upcoming next webinar with the title How to Create AI-Driven Customer Experiences to Drive Value in Pharma. Certain and many buzzwords in this title, so very much looking forward to this interesting and intriguing conversation. And today with us we have two extraordinary gentlemen. So I would like to start from west to north. So starting first with Madrid and welcoming Joaquin Pais, the CEO of ShowerThinking. Joaquin, how are you doing?
Good. Thank you very much, Dario, and really honored to be here at the next Pharma Summit.
Likewise, Joaquin. And Nick Lagan from UK. Hi, Nick. Same question to you, but of course, obviously now not house weather in Madrid, but house weather in UK.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, the weather's still pretty good in the UK, so thank you, and also delighted to be here. So thanks for the invitation.
Thanks a lot, Nick. Well, we actually will stay with you in this interesting conversation, passing back the stage to Joaquin, who will do a short introduction and kicking off the stage. And after that, we will enjoy this fruitful conversation. So Joaquin, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Dario. Nick, if you could move to the next slide. So thank you very much, everyone, for attending this webinar. This is the agenda for the next 18, let's say it's 20 minutes. At the end of the webinar, we have a question and answer session. Will be moderated by Michael Kane. And in this webinar is a repetition what the session that Nick did in San Francisco this year in Dremforce, which is the annual Salesforce event globally. So Nick will explain us the second and third point, why Grunenthal, why they are here, what happened. And then I will do the fourth point, which is the more technical part, how did you do it? And probably the last one, the fifth point, it will be the most important one, where Nick will explain us how we can get started. So Nick, the stage is all yours.
Okay, so cool. So just by way of context, why a Grunenthal here, why I've been asked to present, and what do you need to know about Grunenthal? So what you need to know about Grunenthal is that we are a global leader in pain management. That's our sort of heritage, that's our focus from a disease area perspective. But we have also, over the last few years, built up a growing number of established brands, both late life cycle and established brands. And our belief is that through smart omnichannel investment, we can increase the revenues for those brands. We're not big pharma, we're small-ish. We're about 4,500 employees, 1.5 billion annual revenues. We think we're a bit different. We've been able to be quite agile because of our size, because we're privately owned. And I think it's true to say we've certainly been quite early adopters of new AI-driven omnichannel technology. We're super happy to be transparent about our experiences, and we have been through a digital transformation. I've been in Grunenthal for about 4 years now, so I've lived through leading that digital transformation. And certainly now everything we do from an omnichannel perspective is out the other end. It's business as usual for us. I was asked just to say a little bit about what things were like pre-COVID and pre-digital transformation. And I think this will be familiar with a lot of people, hopefully, on the line. And that was the fact that if I think back 3 years ago, we had no return on investment analysis capability in-house. We had countries at different levels of maturity. We were doing some multi-channel activities, and fundamentally we had siloed platforms. So you can't do omnichannel if you don't integrate global platforms. So if I fast forward to today, I would say things are quite different. Actually, we can do very detailed return on investment analysis. We can track every cost per interaction, cost per campaign, and we can do some nice studies to look at the actual impact of our activities on sales. So the level of sophistication we have in terms of ROI analysis has massively improved. We have also embedded our omni-channel campaigns. We ran about 178 last year across all of our countries. We'll do about 250 this year. So that omni-channel approach has been embedded as our business as usual. And of course, that is all based on the fact that we have moved towards global platforms. We have also implemented a customer data platform, or what Salesforce now call Data Cloud, which allows for that unification of data, which has many different business benefits for us. So if I think back, the journey that we've been on over the last few years has been quite a remarkable shift, actually. So I think that probably begs the question, how did we do that? And of course, as everybody knows, who works in this area, it's super easy, yeah. Well, not really. It's there's a lot involved, clearly, in terms of leading an organization through a digital transformation. And there's lots of different elements to that, again, which the audience will be familiar with. But rather than go through all of the different elements, tagging, modular content, etc., I thought it would be a bit better just to give you a case study or a use case, an example of the sort of omni-channel experiences and better customer experiences that we're looking to develop and deliver through a little case study. So bear with me a few moments. What I thought would be helpful is to think about a common customer event. So in this case, a webinar, and use a common customer event like a webinar to explain how we're using AI-driven technology to deliver a better omni-channel customer experience. So here's the story. The story is we've got a customer, Dr. Helen, who's a pain specialist in a teaching hospital in Paris. So this would represent a typical target patient for us, target customer rather for us. Now, in the past, we would have known a little bit about Helen based on what a key account manager had put into a CRM system. So perhaps the quality of the data that we had on that customer might not have been optimal. But that was a few years ago. Now, because we have unified the data through our platforms and we can track every customer engagement, the quality of the data and the profile of the data we've got behind Helen has been much improved. So based on that, we can segment a customer like Helen for a key upcoming event, such as a webinar. And of course, because we've got that profiling information, we know much more about her, we can ensure that we personalize the invitation, we send the invitation through the channel of our choice at the time of our choice. And also, because we know that this is a moment that matters, we can ask her some questions with regards to the process so far, and also what her expectations are in terms of the webinar that we are inviting her to. So, we can get some feedback scoring, but we can also get some open text, which we can analyze based on the sentiment that it provides to help inform whether we can meet her expectations, maybe bend the agenda for the upcoming webinar, or certainly look to reflect her expectations in any future customer events. So that's one thing we can do. What we can also do is make sure that we maintain engagement with her until the point of the webinar actually happening. And we can do that in a personalized manner to drive her to a campaign, to one of our websites, where again, based on her profile that we built up, based on real engagement data, we can ensure that what she sees is based on those preferences, the same way that obviously Netflix does to us as consumers and many other companies do. So we can make sure that we maintain engagement in a really highly personalized manner. And that then somewhat helps bridge the gap to the day of the webinar itself. But in the past, we would have had to follow up with her to find out whether she attended the webinar or not, whether she engaged for 1 minute, 2 minutes, the duration, and obviously to get the feedback. Now we don't have to do that. We can use real-time engagement data to find out straight away whether she attended or not, and also track the level of engagement. So, did she attend for 1 minute, 2 minutes, or the full 30 minutes? And based on good planning, really importantly, we can make sure that we've got post-webinar campaigns set up, which are triggered based on the level of engagement that she's displayed. So obviously, if she didn't attend for whatever reason, we can trigger a campaign asking why, invite her to a next meeting. Or if she did, in the example of this use case, we can seek to get feedback. So we can already do a lot, and it's all sounding swimmingly well so far. However, we know we can't leave good customer experience to chance. And actually, in this example, she's given us some feedback that we have not met her expectations. She's rated us poorly in terms of 5-point score, and she's also provided some open text to explain why we didn't meet her expectations. So that's really valuable information for us as a company, and it's information that we can act on straight away, because with that, we can do a couple of things. We can set up a next best action recommendation for one of our key account managers to go in and speak to Dr. Susan and look to follow up and find out what's went wrong. And we can also, really importantly, inform the key account manager or the MSL on why it's not gone correctly, why we have not met her expectation. If she provides that open text information, we can apply some sentiment analysis based on AI using the Salesforce platform that can give some concrete suggestions to our internal colleague on probably what the customer wanted to see but didn't see, which, in this little story, can allow our key account manager or our MSL to be the hero of the day and turn that negative experience into a positive experience by really quickly following up and providing that information. So that's just a little use case or example around a common customer event, but it's only made possible through the unification of data and through having a customer data platform or data cloud in our case in place. And there's many other use cases that you can start to apply. So another really nice use case could be around how you gather consent and how you renew consent. Now within Grunenthal, that's a fully automated process. We have campaigns running in the background with QR codes to trigger campaigns to gather consent, where we've got the opportunity to do that. And we also have background campaigns to renew consent with pop-ups on websites or triggered emails when we know the renewal for those consents are coming up. So that's just a second use case, but we're building out many more use cases on a daily basis. So hopefully that gives you a little story or a little example of how we're using the technology to improve the customer experience. Joaquin.
Thank you, Nick, for this awesome presentation about the Grunenthal's customer experience project. Dario, please, if you don't mind, could you give me the control for myself going through the slides?
Yes, you already have the control, Joaquin, please.
Okay, bear with me a second. Oh, it's not moving, sorry. Okay, let me screen. Okay, so you can see my screen, I hope.
Yes.
Okay. So again, thank you very much, Nick. As commented before, this has been Nick presented this success story this year at the Dremforce in San Francisco. I need to add that Grunenthal has been named as one of the most advanced pharma projects using Salesforce technology, and that's really a big accomplishment. So let's check what is technically needed to enable this great customer experience. Let me share with you a model on how I like to structure customer experience project in pharma. From my view, data is the foundation or central element in the strategy of this kind of projects. We like to include engagement data from our customers or digital data, some you say, and add in a meaningful way that with the data that you already have in your CRM. In the pharma industry, a lot of efforts have been made in order to integrate CRM data like Viva or IQVIA with digital data from website, campaigns, or marketing automation, or webinar and other sources. Some of these projects have succeeded to a certain level, but there are always issues around integrations. The complication that arises from non-technical department affecting this information, or the decisions where to store this in new engagement data. Do I need to store in Viva? Where do I need to live in a new data lake, or where do I store all this kind of information? And also an issue here, very obvious, as Nick commented before, about the scalability. We are not speaking on just a single campaign, but more than 25 countries on a yearly basis. And this is an issue that I need to say this is very difficult to solve. In the artificial intelligence section from the existing predictive AI, now we have available the new generative AI. This has been the big announcement this year in September in Dremforce, being Salesforce, the first company to launch at the scale these new GPT capabilities. And will help us with the personalization at the scale in omnichannel journeys, the creation of content. This is something that we will discuss a lot probably later, and the efficiency in the campaign operation. And finally, the activation part, the most, and usually is more related to the marketing part, the activation part of the campaign operation, how to implement this type of campaigns, following a global to local approach. As Nick commented in his part, more than 25 countries need to run their marketing efforts in a seamless way. In the last 2 years, the world of marketing data has entered a new era with the development of Data Cloud. Former name was Salesforce CDP. In the case of Grunenthal, Data Cloud is combining the CRM data from multiple Viva instances, marketing data coming from websites like Sitecore, in his case, multiple webinar platforms used by different countries and other sources. Think of Data Cloud as a layer above your marketing data and CRM data that marketing teams can use with a point-and-click interface. Instead of the traditional approach where every interaction is integrated back into Viva, Data Cloud is democratizing the access to information, creating limitless segmentation possibilities. It's not a technical platform, as you could expect. It's more a marketing platform. And this is a concept is key to understand. It's a platform for marketing teams to better segment and know better your customers. The goal is to improve targeting of campaigns and personalize customer journeys. So the marketing teams create segments easily themselves. We are given this possibility to the different countries. Segment data from marketing, from sales, from e-commerce, or data lakes are available on a single interface. We can put Helen in a dynamic segment based on potential, insights, and so on. With this new addition or this new launch for Instant GPT capabilities, we will be able to create segments with a chat or a more human interface. We could be asking from this November, from this new product update to Einstein, please create me a segment with healthcare professionals in oncology specialty with low adoption ladder and at least one attendance to a webinar in the last months. Now it's possible by COMEX and marketing teams without the need of data analysis teams. We focus these journeys on gaining in-depth insights on each customer from the website to the webinar interactions. And finally, with a face-to-face call with the sales rep, as Nick commented before. Our goal is to deliver relevant content and keep engagement high. With this approach, we have begun to have a better understanding of our customers, and we are using this knowledge to develop AI predictive analytics. For example, in a journey, we are capable of generating next best action for our sales reps. Moreover, if you give some attention to the part of the next presentation, as you can see, we keep the events in the CRM up to date and provide visibility by understanding the interests and intentions of the healthcare professional in relation to the interaction. We are synchronizing the profiles and segments information back to the CRM, so the sales reps are informed. Oh, sorry, I need to go back. Some kind of glitch here. Oh, that's it. That's it. Regarding the analytics, one of the most important parts, we have been really working hard to implement and understand the HCP, the healthcare professional behavior, and how they want to interact with us. Salesforce Marketing Cloud does provide an event-based analytics. So this is basically when we speak about event-based is when you have the analytics about when the customer opens or clicks my emails, visit a website, or downloads a PDF or attends a webinar. But we have implemented a framework beyond this point, creating a campaign operational model. This is the name we give it, a campaign operational model, which is they contain data understandable by COMEX and sales teams across the company. We also have started piloting advanced analytics coming from GPT data using the GPT API, but a lot of different upgrades we are expecting with this new launch for Instant GPT this year. We are merging, and this is key important for us, we are merging together the CSAT, the surveys, all the feedback from the customer, and creating a sentiment analysis. In the activation or in the campaign operation, so Nick commented very briefly, but we structure the campaigns into types. Always what we call always on campaigns and standard campaigns. The advanced segments plays a fundamental role in the scalability of the activation, considering that we are operating in more than 25 countries. We can activate segments to Marketing Cloud for digital campaigns and to Viva CRM for face-to-face or rep-driven campaigns. The goal is driving visits and customer experience with improved insights, engagement, and personalized experience. And now probably one of the most important parts. So let me finally ask you, Nick, this very important question. How can we get started with this kind of projects?
Yeah, thank you, Joaquin. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you need to be at a certain level of maturity from an organizational perspective, clearly. You know, you need to be quite far through your digital transformation and have everything in place and your tagging done effectively, good scalable content, etc., etc. And clearly, you need to have global integrated platforms. So once you've got all of those building blocks in place and you've got the technology in place, and I believe really strongly that the key bit of technology is something like Salesforce's data cloud, where you have that unification of data, because that's what really makes personalization possible. When you've got that, then it's about defining the use cases for our industry. And I think what's been clear to me over the last couple of years is that while Salesforce are a fantastic technology provider, they don't know a lot about the healthcare industry. So therefore, it's really important that you also partner with a company that does, like in our case, ShowerThinking, because you need to do that for two reasons. You need to do that, one, because this is not plug and play. There is integrations with other platforms that you have. So you need to have a good partner that can make sure that your medtech stack is complete and you've done all of the key integrations that you need to have in place. And you also need a partner that can help you define the use cases. And I think the evolution that we've been on over the last few years has allowed us to get more sophisticated with our campaigns, enhance the personalization, as Joaquin says, have campaigns that are switched on and those that are running in the background. And the ShowerThinking and Joaquin and his team have been a brilliant partner for us in doing that, because they've got the technical expertise and they understand the pharma industry. And other than that, our experience has been, start small with I hate to call them pilots, but some use cases, and then gain experience, and then make this part of your business as usual, and adapt and refine accordingly. And that certainly has been our experience over the last few years. We didn't have a huge change management program, which was put in place by a very expensive third-party provider. We just got going with it, and we demonstrated the success through the countries, through colleagues that were embracing this new way of working with use cases which we could shine a light on to our senior management, and that's helped us go pretty far over the last couple of years. But I think it has also crucially enabled us to continue the investment with our customer data platform, with Data Cloud, so that as new generative AI possibilities become available within that platform, with prompts, with less tech need, with being able to ask, as Joaquin saying, direct questions with regards to give me a segment of customers based on this or this, that we can capitalize on that evolution pretty quickly. So that's our story, and that's how I would say you can get started.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Nick. Has been brilliant, the part of your explanation. So for everyone now is coming, I hope that our colleague Michael is here in order to organize some questions that we could have arrived. Michael, please, if you can moderate this part.
Sure, yeah. Thanks again for the interesting discussion, and as was mentioned, some exciting things going on at Grunenthal. Interesting question here for Nick. It says, we've been using Marketing Cloud for going on 2 years now and are having a hard time launching any advanced campaigns. How do you do it? not just technically, but achieving the adoption and support needed to accomplish these types of campaigns?
I think one thing that we've done quite well is, again, working with a partner like ShowerThinking. We've defined different campaign types. So we've categorized different campaign types, from single send to complex to webinar to hybrid, etc., and sought to build up a library of different campaign types within those buckets, so that we're not replicating everything all of the time. So I think that's been one aspect. I think the other aspect has been the governance we put around the running of our campaigns. We're smallish companies, so it was easier for us to centralize everything and run our campaign centrally through one provider. And I think that drove efficiencies for us. So those would be a couple of things that I would highlight. And the third thing I would highlight is, really the advancement, I think, is data cloud, as I mentioned, because that's what allows you to deliver true personalization and benefit from things like sentiment analysis and suggestions. And certainly Dremforce a couple of weeks ago, they are the big ticket items that we're talking about, where CRM, of course, because it's a CRM company, but data cloud, AI, and trust, because importantly, there's an added secure data gateway, which should give us as an industry more confidence that we can use the potential of AI within the platform in a secure manner.
Mm-hmm. If I could emphasize also this response from Nick, for me, in order to many companies from my view struggle, to advance in this ladder. And for me, the governance model has been key, very well structured in a company like Grunenthal, really clear what you can expect and what you cannot, and what resources you will need for the different kind of campaigns, and also creating this portfolio, also key for me, portfolio of campaigns, different types from most simple in order to introduce to the countries and to more advanced, and then piloting on a consistent way per country, because the capabilities that each country has could be very different, the digital knowledge and digital capabilities. Just an addition, for what Nick has responded.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks so much for all of those great recommendations there. So another one here for Nick. What have you done to be able to have such highly personalized content? So you seem to have a lot of personalization. Could you share how you've been able to do that?
Well, I guess you do that from a technical perspective through Interaction Studios, the functionality within Salesforce. So based on some rules and triggers, which Joaquin can explain better than I, you can make sure that based on different customers' profiles, what they see when they go on the website is linked to their profile and their attributes. So in theory, that's how you do it. The technology that enables you to do it is, in our case, Interaction Studio, which is basically the activation element of Data Cloud.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point, because I think in the future, so far many content departments have been isolated from the kind of design of campaigns, or more integration. I think that this question is coming from this part, this kind of content factories that many pharma companies have created, need to really engage, with the design and creation of the journeys. So this is a key element, from the design perspective. Then you decide, okay, this I need this personalization for this and this and this segment. This is one point. And another point, and this is new also for this year, I think that also GPT will help a lot with this personalization. Once you have, in pharma, you cannot create really content as in other industries, like for example, retail, but at least you have, you can ask GPT to create some personalization based on one segment. So this is some interesting ideas for this new year, to work on.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Well, another question here for this one for Joaquin. So from the analytics perspective, it was touched on a bit already, but what impact have all of these campaigns had on analytics?
Well, I didn't have time to explain completely, but what we have created is a model that is not just standard digital analytics in the means of I have clicks or I have open, but this kind of metrics probably have no sense for a sales team or a marketing team in a pharma company. So we have created a campaign operation model, which is basically we understand the customer through which of these steps in your journey he's going or not, and if he is reaching the goals. So these advanced analytics that are based on steps, if someone is progressing through the steps, and if he's reaching the goal of the main of the journey, these are the main two new developments that we have added to the standard Salesforce Marketing Cloud.
Yeah, taking advantage of those advanced campaigns. All right, just a couple more questions here. One for Nick. How do you handle the aspect of the training that's needed for the marketing, sales, and other teams to reach such an omni-channel approach? So the training.
Yeah, so when we implemented our digital transformation, then there was core elements to it, one of which was capability building, which was a massive part of it. So, we had a training team lead that, and there was, and there continues to be, of course, a huge amount of capability building in terms of training and everything else. We wanted to have the training more focused on the thinking and the planning, rather than absorb also the technical burden, which is why we outsourced all of the technical programming to a third party, because we thought that would be too much for us at that stage. But of course, it's a huge element, the training and the capability build.
All right, yeah, excellent. So just one more question here for Joaquin, related to webinars. It says, I see you're using webinars. We're using On24, but we don't have it integrated. Can you recommend a solution to integrate it with Marketing Cloud?
On24, yeah, it's one of the, well, together with the GoToWebinar and other platforms, and Zoom is one of the most well-known platform. Probably my response is probably 2 years ago, I would have a different response. Because 2 years ago, we have developed for different customers and ad hoc integration between On24 or GoToWebinar and integrate all this data inside Marketing Cloud. Now, the way that Salesforce is envisioning this technology is that all this digital, or what they call engagement data, because it's really the engagement from the customer or digital data, go directly to Data Cloud. And this is a project built with this exactly with this purpose, to integrate many different of data from many different sources, whether you have Azure or Amazon or any other platform, and put there and segment in a more easy way. So my response, well, depending on the level of maturity that this company could have in their systems, there are some easy ways to integrate on 24, probably to going directly into Marketing Cloud. I will not go through the standard IT way of thinking, saying, okay, let's make an integration between on24 into Viva, because it's used to be very complex and burden to maintain. And if they have I will check, this third way, which is integrate directly into Salesforce CDP, because this is the new way that Salesforce is envisioning these integrations.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thanks so much, Joaquin and Nick, for answering some of those questions there. Exciting things to think about, and I guess we can hand things back over to Dario now to finish up.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Really great discussion indeed. So, of course, we will publish this webinar on our YouTube channel as well. So anyone who wants to watch it afterwards can do it. Joaquin, Michael, Nick, great pleasure for hosting you, and looking forward to the next one.
Has been a pleasure, Dario. Thank you very much.
Many thanks.